Hello and welcome to Walk the Pod, your daily walking show where I take my podcast for a walk because I don't have a dog. Just walking up a slight incline, slightly more out of breath than usual. Welcome to Walk the Pod. This is episode 8, series 53, on the theme of stillness. And as I do every day, I'm tempting you away from your desk this lunchtime. Step out into nature, whatever nature you can find, for just 10 minutes. Pay attention to what's directly in front of you and be astonished over time at the difference this makes to your problem solving, your creativity, your mental and physical health. Welcome to Walk the Pod. Thinking about stillness as usual this lunchtime, and I'm grateful to Dave for sending his thoughts on the Patreon community chat. He says stillness means mental as well as physical stillness. There's so much vying for our attention these days, and I think that's absolutely right. We can be physically active but mentally still. But we can also be physically active and mentally frantic. So actually, the mental stillness is probably the most important type of stillness as far as I'm concerned. I can be rushing around hither and yon, and dear friends, I am a lot of the time. But actually, in my head, I am mostly quite calm. Occasional days where I'm feeling behind or rushed or indecisive or overwhelmed, but mostly mentally quite still. And I think that's the bit I'm most grateful for. We celebrated Gratitude Tuesday yesterday. Thank you to everybody who took part on the Discord server for recording things we're grateful for every day. And I'm grateful for the mental stillness that I feel mostly these days. I think I have experienced a lot of mental health challenges in the past, including rumination, anxiety. I don't know about depression, maybe. They seem to go together a lot, don't they? But I don't know. I'm not sure about that one. But anxiety, rumination, absolutely. But thank you for Gaynor and Tatty, who recently reminded me that the demons hate fresh air. The one thing that almost always brings me home in a more placid frame of mind is a walk. What can I see directly in front of me? Well, I'm on a bit of an extended mission today because our lovely neighbour's cat from where we lived before we moved is currently missing. We expect he will be home soon, but we don't currently know where he is, and there are posters up all over the local area that our neighbour has put up in hopes of finding him. And she's been in touch with lots of local clubs and societies and schools and churches, all of whom know him. And some even have names for him, which is not his name. So there was a sighting at 7:30 this morning. And so I have decided to walk the route that takes me from my house, which is closer to the sighting than where we used to live, and the sighting, in order to keep my eyes peeled. So on the lookout for a missing cat today. And whilst I'm looking for the missing cat, I'm also going to pay attention to what's directly in front of me. I've been feeling the cold today. It's actually 2 degrees, so it's not as freezing as it has been, but I'm feeling the cold today. And wishing it would get on with warming up a bit, and of course it's not going to for ages, sadly. And I'm trying not to wish the winter away, because, well, we can always wish time away, can't we? But it's never quite as good an idea as finding joy where we are with what we've got, blooming where we're planted, and sort of digging into our current situation, I think. Or at least, maybe, all approaches are valid, but I've found life more satisfying when I've dug in and carried on than when I've run away. I've been to Battersea Power Station today to try to mend a laptop. Turned out to be prohibitively expensive to mend the laptop, so I've come away going, I'm just not going to bother mending it. It's not that broken. But it was interesting to go to Battersea Power Station. An enormous and incredible development, which I remember living near to for the first probably 15 years I lived in London. And it was always this perennially difficult to know what to do with building, that it never quite got developed. It was always going to be developed imminently, but it never quite was, and no project to restore it ever quite managed to finish. They always got delayed, or they ran out of money. Well, they've restored it and developed it now, and my goodness, what an incredible space, building, place to be, shopping centre. It is incredible. I'm not a shopping person as such, so I always feel slightly out of place in these places. It's all a bit too much shiny floor and glass, and not enough trees and small brown dogs that I can't identify, and little tiny birds. Oh my goodness, pod pals, I forgot to tell you about the bird feeders. Put some bird feeders in our new garden, and there are some birds who have found them today, and they are exotic birds. I did not expect quite such excitement. We had sparrows and dunnocks. Those were just the sort of normal little brown job birds. Some coal tits and blue tits, fairly normal as well. But then we only had a woodpecker and also a tree creeper today. So I'm very, very excited about that. It's absolutely delightful to have little tiny birds eating your fat balls. Rear Admiral Tim, no sniggering at the back, please. So in Battersea Power Station, whilst I was stunned by how beautiful and shiny and impressive it is, there's no nature there, so it's only of limited interest really, but it is impressive. None of which is what I can see directly in front of me now. I'm just reminiscing to earlier in the day. What I can see directly in front of me now, well, I'm still looking for this cat. No sign of the cat so far. Seeing some people's front gardens are sort of all looking quite trimmed and well looked after. Somebody's put some very complicated looking bamboo supports around something that looks like rosemary but probably isn't. The bottom of the hill, and I can hear, that's got to be a robin. It's a melodious call, must be a robin. I'm going to go closer to see if I can spot it. So excited to see a woodpecker. I don't think I've ever seen a woodpecker that close up before. Brilliant. I can't spot the robin, unfortunately. Oh, I feel like I should be able to see it. It's very close. Where are you? Nope, I cannot see it anywhere. Thank you for walking with me, dear friends. It's been an absolute delight to stretch my legs with you this lunchtime on this cold January day. We've got 2 episodes left of Series 53. Then I'm quite excited because Series 54, I think, is going to be on a slightly different selection of topics to choose from than what we had, what we've been looking at over the last couple of years. We've been doing a lot of looking at rather difficult to pin down topics: stillness, trust, kindness, peace, joy, that kind of thing. You know, all of these things, you can't point to exactly what they are, you can't draw them. But for Series 54, I think we're going to move to a slightly more tangible place with a theme, so I'm excited about that. If you'd like an opportunity to vote for the next theme, you need to join the Walk the Pod Lunchtime Walk Club. For only those few people get to choose, get a vote, and you can join the club by going to patreon.com. That's patron with an E in it, patreon.com/Rachel Wheely. And before we do all the choosing of the next topic, I will look forward to bringing you the last couple of episodes of this series. We'll be wrapping up what we've learned tomorrow, and then on Friday I'll be thanking all the members of the Walk the Pod Lunchtime Walk Club for their support. Take care of your beautiful mind, yourselves and each other, and I'll be back tomorrow.